Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. This is the rise of Cornoe, and Cornoe is coming along quite swimmingly. We're quite a strong little nation state now, with a lot happening, lots of things going wrong from time to time, but a lot happening as well. And our population is slowly creeping up to the 50,000 mark. I'm hoping that cluster there is this cluster we're planning over here is about 1,000 people. I'm sure this area will push us over 50,000. The headquarters of the Communist Party is coming along quite nicely over here. We're practically finished. That is interesting. I'm amazed at how quickly that has happened. I'm guessing it's due to the fact that we're now getting access to workers right here to drive this construction industry. So the rest will start moving really quickly as well. So we need to make sure that we've got everything we need over here. So what we don't have, I see, is we don't have any kind of garbage collection over here, which we might be able to squeeze in over there. I'm also just thinking we've got a shopping center over there. Let's have a quick look. If we grab this and just have a look. Yeah, these guys can't actually access it. So we do need to start our construction over here. Now, let's quickly get a few things started. So I'll do that. We need to have a look at this guy. So this is our shopping center, right? Department store. So let's quickly add a few things. I want to go beyond planning on this area in this episode. I want to start looking at what our next industry is, but maybe it'll be easier once the snows have gone away. So for the time being, let's quickly assign some construction over here so that guy can start working on it. Similarly, can we assign construction to this guy? Yeah, I think it is under construction already. Well, what we want to do is we want to have a quick look at what the next steps are for this. So we need one of these guys. Oh yeah, we've got tons of them. But tons of room to make this work. So let's turn it around. I guess where would we want to do it? I think our only option is really to do it over here. Okay, so we'll do one like hang on. Let's test one quick thing over here. If we did this, right, we don't really need accessibility there. So if we did something like this, I'm just testing, right? If we did something like that, and we wanted the other small building option here. We did something like, I guess it's not going to work like that. Yeah, I think this is a little tight. Let's forget about this plan and not get bogged down in the detail over here. We're just going to use it on this side. And now it's so dark I can barely see anything. Now, let's go back, grab our stuff. We want to start off with this guy. Flip it around, get it nice and tight over here. Right, something like that. Right, something like that'll work. We'll grab this guy. We'll have a similar setup for this one. I think trying to keep it nice and tight. I hope that will give me that curve. Yes, it will. And now the only other thing I'm missing is a little two stopper in here. No, that's not the right. Is that the right? No. Surely we've got something that works a little better than that. Beautiful. This is the one. We don't need it to tie into the back there. So all we'll do is pop it in here, and we'll connect this up there and that up there. And now we've got a bunch of roads that we need to provide some level of access to in a few different locations. Now, let us go ahead and open those up for business. Now, let's see. What are we going to do with the road? So I'm thinking we could probably meander a little something around here, right? We need to bring this guy out. I don't want to put too many on road access points on this one. So actually, to be honest, I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll do that. We'll go around We'll give it a bit of a curve like so, and we'll go around in there, and we'll provide this access point here, right? Now, similarly, I'm thinking we run this road in here because we do want, obviously, to be able to firefight all these kind of things. Plus, this just makes it look a little bit more interesting. So let's do that, and we'll tie them in. I'm not going to be bothering to get too crazy with it. So there we go. We've got a couple of extra roads in there. We could obviously always extend this road out that way, or somewhere over here we could extend it out that way, but I guess this will work for us. Now, at the same time, we would want to make sure that all of this immediately gets starts construction on it. We could also get the helicopters. I'm hitting the wrong buttons. We could also get the helicopters to make a little bit of a start on some of our buildings, where they could contribute as well. Oh, they can contribute to quite a lot, I think. There we go. So that's going to start the helicopter construction over here. Then we'll start looking at some paths and so on and so on. Is this guy under construction? Yes, it is. But for some reason, nothing is yet happening. I guess let's have a quick look to see if everybody has what they need here. So we have gravel. We have all of these things. Let's have a look over here. Oh, well, that's meat. We do have mechanical components and electronic components. So in reality, these guys should be maneuvering things quite a bit. Okay, so let's have a quick look. What other kind of vehicles are we missing? So we've got the concrete mixers in here. Actually, we need a couple of concrete mixers. What are we really missing here? Let's have a quick look. Buses. Open hulls. Buses and open hulls. We've got some dumpers, I think. Buses. We could do with 2 more, and we need some. We've got some stuff here, but it's just it seems like it's minuscule. So let's just grab whatever we have and start bringing some more stuff over. But that construction will continue. So let's pop in over here, have a bit of a look at what we have access to at the moment. We've got a bus. Grab me a bus. We don't need any of these guys for construction, really. I guess we could grab the cranes. I think we probably need the cranes somewhere. What do we have over here? We really don't have much in line of the construction industry going for itself. Yeah. So those need to be replaced. So that's fine. Buses will make the maneuver to come in. These we need. There's so much that we need. Are we building with random colors, or why is this giving me a white color? Anyway, it doesn't matter too much. I'm not going to be too pedantic about those kind of things. But let's move in a couple of cranes if we could use them. Yeah. Well, at the very least, we'll move one of them over here. Do you need cranes? Do you need cranes? I think we're all good on cranes, actually. Yeah, I think we're all good on cranes. So you can move in. You will stop. How many buses do we have here? How many buses do we have here? I think we can just, generally speaking, add another bus to the mix because we have it. Right, bring in another bus. We can use it as it goes. Okay. So with that in mind, that means this will start to come together. I am tempted to see what we can do with regards to our garbage collection over here. So that's going to be our closest spot. We could do garbage collection in this spot right here. That construction is underway. So if I did do a little bit of garbage collection over here, grab me, I think this one is the one I like. Yeah, I mean, this corner is already kind of being used for stuff, right? So let's do that. We'll pop the garbage in there. I'm hoping that will work quite nicely. We can commence our construction over there, and then at the same time, what we'll need to do is have a little bit of a look at our pathing arrangements through here. We've got the path running up there, and I'm kind of thinking we will need to run. I haven't messed it up. Okay, hang on. So it's very difficult to see here, but what I'll do is I'll try and hug this guy. I think that's going to work ultimately, but I think that's fine. We'll just leave that there because that gives us that access point. This is very difficult to see at the moment, so we're just going to leave it there. Ultimately, what we'll do is we'll run a little path up here, something like that. We'll turn it in a little bit over there, and we'll continue it straight up here. And at the same time, we'll do that. And I'm guessing if I do this and this, we should have reasonable connectivity here. Let me go and pay for that. That should get us there. At the same time, what I'll do is I will probably look at an option for extending through here as well. And then we'll do a little bit of this. So ultimately, this guy might turn out that way. So let's pay for those sections. I just want to see if I have a bit of a look at the garbage area of connectivity. That's not quite working for us. Can't pick up garbage from this side, or I can't see the garbage from this side just yet. So that's a bit of a bummer. I wonder if we do one over here, whether that'll... Let me just see. Oh, I can't actually... I don't want to run campaigns or anything. There's no drinking water here either. The things are a little bit disjointed still. So these are our sewage lines. Our water lines are running here. Yeah, we are nowhere near getting ready for water. Water can become available over here, which I still haven't actually done. Right, and then this water line has still got tons of work to do. All of this is under construction, right? Yeah, we might want to, you know what? Pop out of there, get us the helicopters to start working on our infrastructure, please. Because yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a bummer if we don't get all of this to work in time. Right, it's going to be a little bit problematic. We need to build that. So much we do need to build. Okay. For the time being, let's bring in some water from over here. We do have a water substation that we can do right here somewhere. So let's drop it down. Have a quick look at what is underground. Yeah, I think this spot here could be pretty useful to us, so let's do that, and we'll get ourselves a bit of a water pipe to run alongside the road on this side and over there, and we'll get that constructed. We may want to start looking at paying for it, but for the time being, let's just go up here and tie it in so it can start its construction journey. That should be okay. Come on. Autosave and the lights. So let me just get the local crews to... actually, maybe we need this to eventually get the helicopters out here as well. At the same time, we should also have a bit of a look at what our situation is with our sewage treatment. So if we went for one of these guys... maybe that same corner is not a bad idea. Yeah, I think so. I think that same corner is not a bad idea. It should be quite workable there. Now give us a bit of a pipe connection there. I think this should work without any big issues. Building in the way is what it's saying, right? So that is fine. I think I'm just going to do that. Get it nice and direct to flow there. And can we just go hitting the wrong thing? Why do I do that? Okay, now, so let's get our construction crews on this as well, please. And we may as well add an extra little pathway over there so that we can also assign the other crews to start working on that. So that should help us. This is, well, heavily under construction at the moment. We do need, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and pay for that. So once I've got this paid for, like, what can who can get here? So generally speaking, we're only really covering off a few of these guys. That's interesting. I think once you know what? Give me the extension here. Right, if we extend it up there and we tie in another one there and we pay for that, I guess that should give us access at least over there, but then we might still be missing this guy. And then, so ultimately we will need to build yet another one of them over in, I guess, this location over here, which should give us the, which should also give us the access to the, to the communist headquarters here. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and tie in a little path over there and a little path over there. And we'll go ahead and pay for those. And we'll go ahead and pay for these. I guess I just paid for the thing underneath instead of paying for this one. And I guess now if I have a bit of a look, everybody should be neatly managed. So let's get some of these. And over here, let's get some of these. And then that should be good. So, okay, let's put a little bit of a break in this area over here. There's lots of construction still underway, still happening. Now, wow, it's so slow. I can really speed things up. So money-wise, we've got a bit of an issue. Okay, so well, not an issue, but we could do better. So we've got coal over here. Right, so we can do some significant additional coal mining in this area. We're going to do some uranium mining over here. We need a uranium industry, which I guess will work easily over here because we're mining it here. We may as well process it here if we can get some workers out here. I guess we should be able to get workers over here. Maybe an extra bridge. I'm not sure, but this is a navigable canal, so it may be a bit of hard work to get a bridge to cross over here, but it could work quite well, and then we can run that industry potentially with, well, we'll see. Maybe we can put some, I don't know, trains stuff there, but yeah, generally speaking, we should be able to get at least a bridge over there so that we can serve workers from over here with for this uranium industry. Now we've got coal over here. Now coal is good for power. Coal is used for a number of other things, but coal's not really going to make us a ton of money. But we will tap the coal mine. We won't kind of ignore it. We'll tap the coal mine so we do have the coal. And then ultimately what we want to do is we want to extend some form of other industry in here as well. We don't have a lot of things. So I'm thinking, let me close this down. I'm thinking we want something in the advanced industry category because that's where we kind of make some money. Nuclear, definitely, much of money will be made there, but we're planning that out already. Electronics, so let's have a quick look. So if we look at electronics, like this stuff, I mean, this uses so many different things, which we have fair quantities of. So we could do electrical components factories quite large and electronics assembly halls in the same location, potentially. So what is our worker load here? 150. Do we have much larger ones? We've got a 200 one over there, which we could be using. Then we've got these guys that uses... How much does it use? 3 tons. Sorry, let's have a quick look. So if we have a look at what this produces 2.9. So we could do like 2 of them, 3 of them, right? And then we could do one of these guys to give us quite a bit more of this stuff, right? Are we actually exporting any electronics at the moment? I'm not even going to worry about that. So if we go over here, have a look at, say, last year. Oh, it's the first. Okay, let's pause it for a quick minute, right? Last year. Let's pause it while we quickly have a look at what happened last year. Wow. If we look at the year in total, we ended up being just positive. So we just barely broke even. But look at this. Export 50 million rubles. Import 68 million rubles. And then we exported 23 million rubles in terms of vehicles. We imported a couple of million in vehicles. And then obviously manpower has been imported. Quite a bit of manpower has been used. Didn't buy any or kind of spend money on any immigrants. Right? So that is, we made 115,000 dollars, and we made almost 500,000 rubles, which is interesting. So it's just kind of break even. It's just kind of break even. If we look at exporting our resources, we are actively exporting electronics. Not huge amounts, but we're actively exporting electronics. Actually, in terms of value, it's pretty big. Electronics is being exported at quite a reasonable rate here. Mechanical components as well, clothing. Clothing could be one that we could focus on. Some major clothing industries could be quite useful because clothing is quite expensive as well. It's a good export product, and it doesn't take that much to manufacture. We basically turn crops into fabrics, and then fabrics into clothing. So it's a fairly easy industry for us to get quite a lot of exports out of. Electronics is going to be potentially a lot harder to do, but obviously a lot more lucrative if we can create that. But I think we can do lots more with clothing. Let's have a quick look at clothing just for the timing. So fabric factory first, right? So the biggest fabric factory we can find would be, I mean, between all of us, this is not a long factory. 25 tons of fabrics. I don't know if that's quite balanced. Right? It might be. It is balanced. 5 times. Yeah, so it's exactly balanced with this guy. Okay. Okay. I see. Okay, so anyway, whoa, look at that pollution. I might not go that actually again around 5 times. So it does make sense. It's not that it's not sensible. Anyway, let's have a look. Let's start with the basic 5 tons of fabric. Then we turn that into clothing at okay. So we need double the amount of fabric for half the amount of clothing. Okay. So if we have a look at what is the best kind of clothing rate we can get here, it'll be about this one. So yeah, clothing doesn't we don't do tons of clothing either. But anyway, clothing might be a pretty good industry for us. Let's go back to our look at this stuff, right? No. Last year. Okay, there we go. So electronics, plastics we're exporting now. I think we've got the plastics in. We're actually exporting chemicals as well. Alcohol, power. Wow, a fair bit of power actually. Gravel, well, that's just because we don't want it. Fertilizers are being exported, biological waste. That's the waste. Okay. And then what are we importing? If we go back and say, well, so what is the resources we're actually importing? Also electronics? Okay. I guess what this is telling me is that the electronics is actually a pretty good industry for us to run because we could get a double whammy here. So I guess I guess this is the peaks and troughs of production that's causing us to not have the electronics at hand when we need to, and then our distribution offices fill up the distribution center. So I guess that's why we're also importing at the same time. So maybe what we can do is we can target getting the electronics sorted out. So if we do that, right? So let's unpause the game, and we'll jump in here, and we'll say. Okay, so that area there is going to be. Okay, so we've got a train station over here. The train station could very easily serve the electronics industry. We're quite a bit away from that. I mean, from the closest houses over here. So it should be fairly straightforward for us to get that to work. What is our levels like? This is nice and flat over here. Now, what I was thinking is we may need to have a little bit of a look at, what is exactly the mix in the rail industry over here. So let's go back, go to advanced industry, go and have a bit of a look at the electronics things. So electrical components is the first piece of the puzzle. Now, it's fairly low quantities, so this is something we don't necessarily need rail access to. Which rail access over here might be quite challenging. We could get rail access over here for predominantly passengers, right? So or workers, to get the workers in here. But we could just basically. I'm not sure we can really send it somewhere over here to be exported. We may have a bit of a look at that. Maybe we'll build ourselves another bit of a warehouse somewhere over here where we have trucks just bring them over, because they're so low quantities, trucks is a good option for us. Now, let's have a bit of a look at what we can do here. So we've got 2.9 is the biggest one, right? And I guess the normal one is better because this one doesn't generate any real pollution, but it takes a hell of a lot more workers. Well, not that much more. Yeah, so it's a bit, but it feels a bit cheaty then that we're not getting the pollution from it. So potentially what we do is we grab these guys. So we'll do maybe 4 or 5 of them. It's a lot of workers though, maybe 4 of them. So we need, and all of it, let's just double check. What are we getting in? Plastics, chemicals, and steel. So we need 2 types of warehouses. And steel, well, we can just bring steel over from here. To be honest, we can bring everything over from over here and bring those things in via rail. It's an interesting thing for us to look at. Now let's give ourselves a little bit of room because we have the tunnel here, right? If we go underground, yeah, we have the tunnel, so we can pop the tunnel right in the middle here. It's a little iffy with regards to this, right? If we have a look at the other options, these look a lot better with regards to its access points. I might just end up doing that, right? So let's do something like this, and we'll do it fairly. These have to spill out to that side to become interesting. Interesting. I've got some issues with my sound. If you're hearing some issues in the sound, do let me know. Okay, so let's just start out. What do we need? So let's do. This is 2.9, right? 2.9. So 1, 2, 3. Not sure this is going to work. I don't think this is not the right configuration. Come on, get rid. Okay, this is not the right configuration for that. So let's try that again. We want access to a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I think this is going to be way better. So let's do, and we'll leave room for road and rail over there if we wanted to. Okay, we had a bit of a crash, so let's continue where we talked about. But let's get rid of these guys, and we'll start it the other way around. We'll start with the storage, and then we'll see if we can squeeze the other stuff in there. I'm a little bit surprised by how much this game is crashing these days. I'm like, why? It should be getting better, right? Not worse. Okay, so we want like a steel storage, right? So let's do a steel storage. This needs to be in the middle. Let's start off in the middle, steel storage. And we also want a nice big... No. That's a bit too big. Let's go with exactly the same kind of size over here. Right? So we'll do something like this and see if that does the trick. What we could also do is nice and in the middle here, we could actually have a cargo station, right? So something like this, a bit of a road cargo station that operates in between these guys, like so, just so we could potentially have a nice, effective way of dealing with it. Now, so what do we want to do? Oh, and we need obviously a place for the other stuff to go out. So ideally speaking, we would only have the electronic components on this side. So if we go here, electronic components, we go with the big guy that's going to be a little bit more helpful to us with regards to tie-in spots. And we just turn it so that I can see where it's trying to connect. So, yeah, something like... Well, it's not connected to the other one because, of course... If we wanted it to connect to the other one, we'll need to put it somewhere like this, and then nothing else will be able to connect to the other one. So I guess the best we could do, yeah, it's honestly, it's just not gonna work to do multiple ones. 2, maybe we can do 2. Let's just have a look at this. This shouldn't be an issue, right? But these things are sometimes... wrong one. Send you home, please. and go sort snow out somewhere else. Sometimes those things can be quite devastating if you don't keep an eye on it. Everything else here, I think, is tracking along. If people moved in here, no, we're miles away from moving people in here. Okay, that's okay, which is better. We don't necessarily have everything we need just yet. So I guess this was my idea, right? So that we put something in the middle there. But in reality, I think the best we're going to be able to accommodate is two, right? And even two of them is like one on that side, one on this side, right? That's the best we're going to be able to do. And then this setup is complete overkill. So let's have a quick look. Blah, 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 blah. Go back to it. No, not construction industry, advanced industry. Go back to it and see. So what can we store internally? We can store 30 tons of steel and 7.5 tons of plastic and 9 tons of chemicals, which is about 2 to 3 days worth of... So the steel is not a big deal. 2 to 3 days worth of stuff. So in my mind, I think we're not going to be bothered by the steel operation. So let's get rid of this steel, right? We'll get rid of that guy. I'm hoping this is not an issue. Okay, so we'll get rid of the steel. That may or may not be... Okay, so now this may not be the most efficient setup. So let's start off with... First, my goodness, the notifications drive me absolutely bonkers. There's so many of them. It is constantly going, and I care about maybe a handful of them. And I know you can do stuff in the menu, but my goodness, it drives me nuts. Okay, so this is other stuff now. Let's go back, try it one more time. Let's grab... So effectively now what we're trying to do is put as many of these things in here as we can. And I guess that's where... And we don't want to necessarily go lock that one out there, right? So let's do one. I'm tempted to squeeze them in nice and tightly over here. Goodness, notifications. So let's move it out of the way here a little bit. And then I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll probably have to keep it on the long side here, right? So if we do one there and one there. Okay, I think this should be quite useful, right? Now, and we could also contemplate doing a slightly larger setup here. Anyway, that's fine. So if we did this, if we did that, that doesn't want to work, that will work, and this one should work well. Okay, so that gives us access to 4 of them like so. We could do a steel over here and get 2 of them connected, but I guess there's not the real value in that. I'll just lock these in for the time being. Now, what this does give us is the fact that now we can actually move. So this was this warehouse, right? So we can have a fair bit of stuff in here, including electronic components. But maybe we want to up it to the next tier up, right? Slightly larger. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get rid of this warehouse. And we're going to go 1 tier up and go slightly larger, right? So give me warehouse. Slightly larger, right? This is the larger one, right? 560, yeah. So let's now we can relook at this and see, guys, we're able to do this quite effectively. Like so, I just want to make sure I can ultimately tie this one in here. Too long. What? Well, then you will have to move. This is where the captain of industry cut and paste thing would be awesome, because now the best they have here is this pick the building tool, which is not too bad. I mean, it's not too bad. It's not a big deal. So I'm guessing I could do something like this. Really, just want to kind of try and keep it nice and tight. So if we did this, can I do this? Yeah, I can. Beautiful. Do that. And you should be able... That one doesn't want to work either. Oh my goodness. Click, click, click. So some of these tools I think should be a little bit easier to access. Anyway, let's keep a little bit of room in between them. Like so. Okay, so that gives us access to this. Now it means that we can from here we're creating like 3, 6, 9, 12 tons of electronic components. And then on the other side of this spectrum, we want to generate some electronics, just pure electronics. So the biggest one we've got is this guy, which is another 200 or so workers. Hang on. I just want to double check. So this guy, how much electronic components does it take? It takes 3 tons. So I'm thinking we do 2 of them. So we'll have half of our electronic components still available, and we'll have half of our electronics being built. Yeah. So I guess that's my view of this stuff. So let's do that. We should be able to nice and efficiently get these things to work together over here. We'll do that one. Got a traffic jam again, and I'm pretty sure it's the same guy doing the same thing. Let's do that one there as well. Okay, beautiful. So that should give us quite a bit of electronics and electronic components, and it's all focused around this this little cluster here. Now we do need to have a look at getting everybody in here, but it should be fairly straightforward. We've got some room here where we can put some distribution offices. We'll get some road connections in here. I'm tempted to put another roundabout. No, probably down here somewhere. It's a little close. Probably around here somewhere, and we will get ourselves another little road to come out this way. These guys are operating, doing its thing. All good. So I guess this is the plan with the electronics, all right? Just like so. That will work. We do need to probably just start looking at extending this, getting the extra. Okay, so what we'll want to do is we'll want the rail to come in here. So let's quickly sort out a little bit of rail. So we could even start building it, to be honest. So we'll go up all the way to the end there. You know what I want to do? Let's do that. That. I think this will work. And that. Get it to the side there. Beautiful. Now get rid of this one. I think that yeah, that's exactly right. That's probably how I did this in the first place. What? That's driving me nuts. Oh, these guys still need to come in back in this way. Oh, this is the passenger rail. Oh, no, not necessarily. It's the bypass track, and this is the into the area. There are so many notifications. I'm losing it. Okay, yes. Let's not get too deep into that downward spiral there. So let's do that. Give ourselves a nice little curve to go around there. To be honest, I think we'll do exactly the same thing over here, where we do that and then we run these two. I think that's what we'll do here, right? We'll do something like this, right? And then let's quickly do that. And I think we're almost getting to the end of this episode, but let's quickly just make sure we're tying these guys in, right? So this is the freight rail, that's the through track, and we potentially still have the other one in here as well. Okay, so that's the rail extended. I may as well do that so we have it there. We can tie in, have a little bit of room, but yeah, we're running out of space here to be doing much more than that. So this guy will. I'm actually, if we wanted to bring it in. There's not a lot else out here, right? Do we need all of these tracks? I think the answer is no. I don't think we need all of these tracks. So let's trim back some of this stuff, and all we'll do, and what I'll do here is I'll actually trim it back a little bit like this so we can turn it again, because in reality, I think we're okay. Goodness, guys, it's just just want to switch off notifications altogether at this point because it's just like, what the hell? I don't even care. And I know I should, but really. So I guess something like that, so it's not, not running kind of too crazily in here because to be honest, even that is a little bit, we probably need to turn it more and run it down here. Let's do that instead. So let's do this. Give ourselves some track over there, and then forget about those two. And now it's dark again. You know what? The next time I play this, I'm going to take out the winter, and I'm going to take out the darkness, because my goodness, it's getting to me. It's getting to me. Maybe I'm just having a bad day. It's getting to me. Okay. Maybe it's because the game also ended up crashing. Okay, so I guess something like that's okay. Then these can tie in. I think. Let's grab the road as well and extend the road out this way. Give ourselves a little bit more room, and now we've got an autosave. It's like I can't actually play the game because the game is busy doing stuff all the time. We'll do this. Do a little bit of that. Do a little bit of this. Oh, come on. Now the whole thing is going to go. Play without snapping, but then I have to switch on snapping. These kind of things. Okay, so I guess I'll do something like this. We'll go around. We'll go around the corner there. It should be completely fine for us to tie into. Could even. Oh, that's interesting. Let's not do that right now. What I'll do is I'll trim this back a little, so that we can maybe take the turn a little bit later. Interesting. Okay, stop that then. Let's do this. Right up to about the turn there. We'll do that. I'm amazed how difficult it is to actually get them to go together. Oh, there we go. It's the end of the winter. So this will be good for our construction industry. Okay. Yeah, it's a little wonky, but it's okay. So what I'll do, the last thing I'll do, I'll just pop in the roundabout here. So that's the end of winter. I'm going to end this episode, right? The episode should be ending. So the plan is we'll do up to halfway. It's a little close. Let's go a little bit further away. From this edge of the road up to halfway. Then we go at about 100 in total length at an azimuth of 180 is kind of the general plan. Something like that, I think is fine. Then what we do is we trim out this section. So now it's about half a circle. Now we go back that way, and that gives us a pretty good little roundabout. Then we just tie in these with a bit of a curve. Not a massive curve, but a bit of a curve. Yeah, so something like that. That looks absolutely stupendous. And I guess from here, we want to do a slightly different setup, though. So let's just give ourselves a little bit more of a highway network on the other side. Okay, let's clear out the center edge there. We will go ahead and tie this one in. Yeah, that's pretty nice. You should work quite nicely like so. And then from this side, the plan is we'll do something like this. Okay. And then we'll take our one-ways, do like the little one-way trick here. Then we'll do the one-way in there and the one-way out of there. And that's a pretty nice little roundabout. Okay, so let's go back to the two-way. And what I'm planning on doing is, you know what? Because we've gonna have some stuff over there, I'm kind of thinking, let's do this as a road network for now. And then this ultimately is only a tie-in point to here. It's not ideal to have another intersection like that, but I guess it's also not too bad because this can go straight in here, cut through and go straight in there because we will need to provide access to whatever is going on this side. So I guess that's okay because what we'll ultimately end up doing is do a bit of a, well, we don't need a T-junction, but we could do a junction. Ultimately, it could be a bit of a signal or something there as well. And I guess what I'll do is just to finish it off, I'll I'll start this guy out over here. Let's maybe find. Actually, let's bring it in straight as much as we can from there. I don't think we need rail track, but there's room for rail track still if we wanted it. So I guess that's kind of the plan. Plus, we'll have a bit of a loop and the odds and stuff, odds and ends in here. So that is it, guys. We'll leave it there. Just the end of winter. Wow, these guys are still under construction. All of them still under construction. This is still under construction. We can start stocking this, to be honest. Oh yeah, that's done. That's done. We can close this out and fix these together. That'll work quite nicely. Excellent. And these are done, and people moved in, and all of it is starting. And this is done, and people moved in, and this is done, and we don't have any cars over here, but we should get some cars. And everybody's still quite good over here, and our population is growing, happiness is good, and unemployment is at a reasonable number. Money is starting to come back up because we're not, insta-building a lot of stuff. But yeah, it's taking shape over here. Our plans for industry is starting to pop in. I think this will be quite a lucrative little business for us. And what I need to figure out is what I'm going to do potentially. We'll do a little bit of a crossing on this side, so at least these guys can get, because we do need to loop it around, right? I think over here with just the single track, we might just go straight across this way and tie this one back in, and then we'll see a little bit about a warehouse that can tie into some rail, so that we can easily export from here if we wanted to. I think this will look pretty good ultimately. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!